can't hear us. We lost him.
There's no volume here.
I'm here.
There he
is. Hey, Joe,
How
are
you
you, buddy?
doing?
I'm
good. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Joe, this is Ryan, my son.
Nice to meet you, Joe.
Pleasure to meet you, Ryan. How you feeling?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. Now I'm talking to your dad.
I know. I was going to say, Joe, how this took us about 10 minutes to get this thing started tonight. We had all kinds of trouble, but we got you on. Everything's good to go. Before we start, Joe, I got to go over a couple of sponsors that we're going to talk about that sponsored our show tonight. I want to thank Out of the Way Cafe and Matt Grabsky in Utica, New York. Another big week for Matt. They got the lobster roll is back, the surf and turf burger, the walleye fish fry, the crab cake sandwich, and you got to give Matt a call. Put your order in, and he is at 315-733-5060. Also want to thank Geddes Bakery and the Pappas family. It's wedding season, so if you want to get your free consultation on your cake, give them a call. They got pies, cookies, pastries, tomato pie, and so much more. Give them a call, 315-437-8084. Also want to thank Europa Cafe out of Amsterdam. They got the Big Mac hot dog, which I saw a picture of today. Looked out of this world.
What?
Plus they got, big. Isn't that crazy? A Big Mac hot dog. It's a Big Mac on a hot dog on a roll. It's got all the toppings.
All right. All right.
Looks great. They got their weekend specials, garlic parm tenders, sausage gravy and biscuits, huge breakfast, and big pancakes. Give them a call at 518-843-6036. And our last sponsor for the first segment is Eileen Hoffman. She specializes in Medicare, life, and dental disability. Definitely want to give her a call to get your consultation, and she's at area code 607-316-0255. Thank you guys for sponsoring the show. We'll talk to you, the rest of the sponsors at the midpoint. But, Joe, good to have you on, buddy. How are you doing through all this craziness that's going on?
I'm doing great. I'm alive. I'm here.
I know you are. Man, you're staying awful busy. You know what? You got a lot going on with you. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But first, Joe, you grew up in Brooklyn, New York.
Before you start, I want to give a shout out to my sponsor.
Yes. Who's your sponsor?
My sponsor is JosephDonofrioComedy.com. It's a comedy show that's going on July 25th, this Saturday. At 8 o'clock.
Yes.
We got Steve Marshall, Aaron Berg, Martin Chaddock, and also Kevin Moxley.
Oh.
Get your ticket. It's only $30.
$30.
And it's worldwide.
Mate, so you got a lot of tickets left. Are there some tickets left?
Plenty. It's on Zoom, so I can have as many people as I want.
Oh, yes. Okay. So anybody listening, make sure you get your tickets. They're $30, and it's a Saturday night. You can sit home. You can watch it right from your TV. So, Joe, where do they get the tickets from? Where's that website again?
JosephDonofrioComedy.com.
Very simple.
Or you could go to Eventbrite and just type in Joseph D'Onofrio, and it should pop up.
Okay. So listen, guys, Saturday night, 8 o'clock, you're going to definitely want to listen to his comedy show. I'm getting my ticket, so definitely jump on. Guys.
You've been getting your tickets for the last 2 weeks,
I had to make sure.
Yeah. I got my credit card out. Everybody says that. I got my credit card out. I'm getting the ticket. And then when the show happens, they're not at the show. And then I go and I find them and I chop up their body and I bury it in Staten Island. So
Jesus.
I got 2 spots open, Bill.
I'm going to be there. Don't you worry about it. I'm getting my ticket. I just had to make sure I had nothing else going on before that. I'll be watching you Saturday night. Oh, I'll be there, man. I'm listen, guys, if you have any questions for Joe, message me. We're watching the board here. John Pappas, one of our sponsors, said, hey, guys. Matt Grabsky, another sponsor, said, hey, guys. Everybody's watching. We got a lot of people watching, Joe. So, Joe, tell us a little bit.
There's a sponsor in it. Your sponsor should go get a couple of tickets right now.
Yeah, Matt and John, did you hear that? Let's see. Matt says he's got to go in between his 30 fantasy sports teams. Yeah, I got all my drafts
Well, I'm going to be
coming
up in upstate New York soon.
I know
and I'm
you
going
are.
to all these sponsors' spots.
Man.
And I better get like a 2% discount or something.
I'm sure Matt and John will hook you up. Actually,
I'm only joking.
One of our sponsors right in Amsterdam. We're going to talk a little bit about that after. So, Joe, tell us a little bit about growing up in Brooklyn.
Growing up in Brooklyn, I mean, just growing up, hanging out, having a good time, living a positive life, chilling out on 86th Street. It's funny because I just did a TV show called Gravesend. It's on Amazon Prime. It's about growing up in Bensonhurst back in the 80s when I grew up. Mm-hmm. So if you watch that show, you'll know about how I grew up. You know, hanging out, dancing, cruising 86th Street, listening to freestyle music. I did a lot of break dancing.
Oh, jeez. You had the break pants, the wind pants?
No.
You didn't have the wind pants?
I used to wear the Lees and
the Lee jeans.
Adidas with the Latiga shirts.
Oh, my God. Yeah, you're definitely going back to my era, the 80s, with the Lee jeans. Did you have the comb in the back pocket?
No, no comb.
Jesus, you guys were a little different down in the city.
We had the Aquanet hairspray, so we didn't need a comb. You just you put the hairspray in, it was like a rock.
Man, so all right, so growing up in Brooklyn, you were just like a normal, regular teen growing up, had your fun, hanging out in the city.
So what were you like in school? Did you do any sports? Were you in plays? What would you do in high school?
I did a couple of things, but Bill, you and all your sponsors and everybody who's watching this right now,
yes.
I want you to share this on your Facebook page and share it in every group right this second.
There it is.
Growing up, I did good in school. I graduated, and that was it.
Flew under the radar.
Did you play any sports in school?
I did a lot of handball.
Well, handball. Oh, that's a big.
That's why I got the big arms.
Jesus, look at those freaking pipes. So I got to ask you, when did you start? When did you break into acting? When did that all come about?
I had my union card since 1984.
1984. How old were you?
84. I was 15.
15. So what was that? What was that first gig that you did?
The Pringles commercial.
You did a Pringles commercial? Really?
I guess Bill didn't do his homework. Oh,
shit!
Most people know about the Pringles commercial. They always ask me that.
You know, I knew you did a commercial to start with. I didn't realize it was a Pringles commercial.
Did Pringles, we did Pony, we did Ragu, we did Trapper Keeper. I did a foster care commercial.
Oh, fuck.
I played a foster kid. My heart is made of gold, and I'm ready to share it. If you look on YouTube, you could probably find them. They're all over the place.
They're probably all over the place. I know. Let's see. We got a couple guys on here asking questions. Matt Grabsky says, I got you, buddy. So Matt will take care of you. Make sure you hit up me at Joey's 307. Fantastic food here in Utica. John Papa said, throw us a few. Matt said, already done. Goodfellas, selling smokes out of the trunk.
There you go.
There it is.
Is acting always something you wanted to do? Is that something you always thought about doing?
No. I never really wanted to be an actor growing up.
So how'd you get into it?
Actually, I fell into it in a way because I used to, like I said, I was a break dancer. So I did a lot of the commercials, break dancing in the commercials.
Okay.
So what happened was one day, my agent at the time was like, listen, would you be interested in reading for TV shows and movies? And at the time, I was auditioning for commercials all the time. And basically, I was doing it since I was like 13, auditioning for commercials. So it's just like something that was normal. Like I get sides and I go up, I read them. So then I was like, yeah, sure. So I went up, I read for, I remember Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the first show I read for.
Nice.
And I ended up getting the part.
Really?
And then I just kept doing it from there. It was basically like, you know, she would call me up, hey, Joey, I got an audition for you. And I'd just go on the audition. It wasn't like I wanted to be an actor. I went to acting school. It was just like something that just became like from the breakdancing. It's weird how it happened.
That's interesting.
And I got lucky. I got lucky because after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they were looking for someone that looked like Joe Pesci. So I ended
Right.
up taking a picture, and I looked like Joe Pesci, and I ended up getting the part.
Yeah, that's
Goodfellas.
Not only do you look like Pesci, but you sound just like him. What the freak?
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, when you play. So, what was the first movie that you starred in?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That was the first one. Now, what did you play in that?
A hoodlum, a movie hoodlum. And what happened was I was running, I robbed a lady's pocketbook, and then a turtle put out his foot and tripped me and went like this, and he had a knife there, and we got up, we ran into the park, and I went, what the hell was that? And then Casey Jones jumps out of a tree, hits us with a hockey stick, and him and the turtle get into a fight, and we leave.
And that was the start of your acting career, right there.
That was the start of the movie career, yeah.
Isn't that something?
And then Goodfellas, then Jungle Fever, then Night in the City, then the Bronx Tale.
Wow. Now, tell us about Goodfellas. I mean, obviously, it's a class. It's one of the best movies out there. But what was it like playing with a lot of those guys in that movie? Because how old were you in Goodfellas? Were you?
I was, I think, 19 or 20.
Wow. So you had
1990.
What a cast that you got to work with. How was that being around those guys?
It was great. The best part about it was I really wasn't into acting and I wasn't into movies. So when I met all these people, it was like no big deal to me. Like I remember meeting Martin Scorsese. He's like, hey, how you doing, buddy? Nice to meet you. You know, and like Robert De Niro, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And it really didn't even faze me. Like I remember going to the set of Goodfellas and just like seeing all these crowds around and like watching us film. And it was like, I wasn't even nervous or anything. It was just like going to work and doing a job. And it was just like, it was basically not a big deal to me. But when I look back on it now, I realize like, wow, what an experience. And I'm glad I didn't know who these guys were because I might have been like really intimidated by them because they're icons and great people.
Yeah. How was it meeting Joe Pesci for the first time?
I never met Joe Pesci in my life.
Never?
Ever. I was in a couple of movies with him. It's funny, I was supposed to meet him before Goodfellas because they had like a meeting, me, De Niro, Pesci, and Scorsese, and the young Henry Hill. But Joe Pesci couldn't show up because he was doing a movie, so I never met him. And then he was in the Bronx Tale, and I didn't meet him. So I never met him, but I helped him win that Oscar because I played him as a kid.
You did.
In Goodfellas, so
You did.
he owes me like a 100th of that award.
I
he should
agree.
like get off a piece and give it to me.
Grab like the nose or something off of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people always say that. They think I met him, but I never did.
Never got to me. I know. That's surprising. Both movies, especially you playing him in Goodfellas, you'd think that you would have ran into him at some point on there.
Do you keep in touch with anyone from the movies that you've played in?
Yeah, I keep in touch with plenty of people.
Who's like? How was De Niro to work with on the set?
Excellent, great, awesome. He taught me so much. Like I said, when I started acting, basically I didn't have any training, and basically I didn't want to be an actor. So basically, when I went to work, it was like the on-the-job training. And I remember doing certain scenes, like working on Goodfellas, and Marty just giving me direction, and learning from that and watching. Like I really didn't know about staying in the camera, staying in the light, and a lot of the wording they use in movies. And I learned all that, and now I really take it seriously, and I'm really into acting now, and that's what I want to do, and I do a lot of research and a lot of preparation right now. And De Niro, going back, working with De Niro and analyze that, and him directing me in The Bronx Tale, he taught me so much from him just directing me, and Chaz Palminteri taught me so much, and I'm just so grateful to those guys. If they ever needed me for anything, I would be there in a second.
Yeah. That's awesome. I was just going to bring up Bronx Tale, one of my favorite movies of all time. But the cast in that, again, like you said, with Chaz and De Niro and them, that was a great group you had there. Now, where was that movie filmed? A lot of that movie.
It was filmed in Queens, and it was filmed in Brooklyn a little.
It was, okay.
Yes.
Jesus, right in your hometown. That had to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it was right here. It was right close to my house. I could drive to the set right now.
Really?
If I was doing it today.
Isn't that
I live like a mile away from the set.
God, that's so cool. Now, I want to ask you about Chaz. How is he in real life to be around?
He's great. He's excellent. A nice guy, very approachable, and he's such a great writer. That Bronx Tale, he wrote that like magnificent. I seen him when he did the show, The Bronx Tale. He did the play in the city when he played his character.
Right.
He was great. He should have won a Tony Award for that. He
Yeah.
is the best. If you ever met him, you'll see he's such a gentleman and just an all-around great person.
Yeah. Now, your role in most movies have been in as mobsters and the mafia type of thing. Is that something that just, I mean, are they always looking for that when they contact you and reach out to you to play in those type of roles?
Sometimes, either that or sometimes they look for me to play. Like I just finished a birthday cake with Val Kilmer, where I played an Italian mobster, but he was a funny Italian mobster,
Right,
like
right.
Uncle Bootsy, and it was great. I mean, I love comedy. Comedy's my thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, like if you look at the Brawl, I played a guy that'll rip your eye out for a nickel. I mean, where I ripped this guy's freaking eye right out of his head.
Like the
And
guys
it was
that don't
great.
buy
I
your
mean,
tickets.
In Gravesend, I try to do all my characters different. Like in Gravesend, I play a gangster, but he's got class, this guy.
Yeah.
He's like, you know, he dresses nice, he talks low, but you mess with him,
Yeah.
he'll kill you.
Yeah. Jeez. Isn't that something? It's great. I love it.
What was your favorite movie to play in and your favorite character?
I really don't have one, to be honest with you.
No?
I love the Gravesend that I'm doing now. That Mangano is great because he's so, you know, cool and classy. And my friend's writing it and directing it and producing it, Willie DeMeo, and he's writing some great stuff for me. But I really enjoyed also Are We There Yet? I was a comedy I did called, I played Staten Island Mike. And it was the best. I did 2 seasons. And that was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Really
That's
good.
a great.
I mean, I've
know.
been in over 90 film and television shows, so there's a lot of roles to pull from.
Yeah.
And I mean, every time I get a role, I just try to make it the best I can, and I put my all into it.
Now, Joe, me and you talked before on the phone a couple weeks ago about what we do. We travel all over New York, showcasing all these family restaurants. Now, down in Brooklyn, you got to have some hot spots down there that you like to hit up. What a couple places down Brooklyn that you suggest?
Well, if you like Italian food, you got Michael's. Michael's excellent.
Uh-huh.
You got Peppino's in Brooklyn. It's like a pizzeria restaurant. Really, best vodka pizza you'll have in your life.
Vodka pizza.
Really good. Yeah.
Ooh.
There's a Chinese place on Flatbush Avenue, New China Star. It's not that fancy, but the food is excellent. To me, I go for the food.
Yeah.
Then
yeah.
you got Clemente's in Sheepshead Bay. Best crabs around, man.
Is it?
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Really good.
I'd go out of my mind for some good crabs down there.
Oh, that crab. If you ever go to Clemente's, Jimmy Muir is the best. He's the owner of the place. He always cooks the best food, and it's out on a deck, too.
Okay. All right. That's a couple places we're definitely going to have to try to reach out to. So what does Joseph D'Onofrio do in his spare time when you're not on the set and you're just hanging out? What are some of your hobbies and stuff? What do you like to do?
Play handball, eat some food, cook. I don't know. Read a book, watch movies,
Just average stuff.
talk on the phone with people. You know, talk to my daughter. I got a daughter, so she's going to college this year. I'm very excited about that.
That's awesome.
So I try to, you know, stick with the family, talk to my sister.
Well, what school is she going to
Stay
go
very
to?
positive. Hunter College,
Hunter. Where's that?
Manhattan.
Oh, it's right in Manhattan. Is she going to follow in the acting career? Or is she not? Is that
No,
not? No.
No, she doesn't want to be an actor. She wants to be into nursing.
Nursing. Okay. So it's a nursing school.
She's such a great kid. She's so polite and so down to earth and just such a nice human being. When I look at her, I'm just so proud of her. It's crazy because I've been like grooming her since she's like 3 years old. And I was telling her the other day on the phone just to be independent. I remember when she first started walking. She'd be like, "Daddy, can you hold me?" And be like, "Ashley, you could walk."
Right.
So walk a little.
Right,
I try
right.
to make her do her own thing, and she is so independent. She was the second in her class this year, graduating class. And I'm
Wow.
so proud of her because there was no graduation. It was on Zoom. They didn't have a trip, nothing.
Yeah.
And I talked to her about it, and she says, Daddy, what am I going to do, Daddy?
Right.
There's nothing I could do. What am I going to do? Cry and get mad? That's not going to change it. She
Right.
goes, I just have to live with it and try to make the best out of it.
Yeah.
And when she said that, it just made me so proud that she's got a brain on her. She's got a brain, and she has common sense. It's like a lot of kids got crazy. Oh, I can't graduate. Oh,
Right, right.
You know what are you gonna do? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
you gotta keep moving.
Exactly. Matt Grabsky just put a comment. Night in the City was a great one.
Yeah. Night in the City with me and Robert De Niro. I played one of Robert De Niro's clients. I told him to go hobnob a little
That was a
because
great.
he's like I'm a lawyer.
That was a great movie, by the way. I love that movie. Did you ever
That
see
scene must have took us like not even an hour to do, and we were done.
Really? That quick?
It was great. Yeah, I take pride in basically doing my scenes, being prepared, coming to the set, knowing my lines,
Yep.
and just knowing the camera angles and working with actors and just trying to be the best person I could be on set, you know?
Yeah.
Like my daughter.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, that's exciting. That's got to be exciting for her. Off to college, new career. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So
Yeah, she's going to be very successful. I'm excited about that.
who inspired you in the industry to move forward with the acting? Would you say like De Niro or someone like that kept pushing you into this field?
I never really was pushed, to be honest with you. I never got pushed by anybody. But I mean, now that I look back on it, I mean, De Niro and, Chaz Palminteri definitely influences. I mean, my favorite actor of all time is Eddie Murphy. I love Eddie Murphy. And I'm starting to like that Marlon Wayans now. He's really good. Watching a couple of his movies. Terry Crews is great.
Yeah,
I mean,
love
Willie
Terry.
DeMeo really pushes me a lot, a friend of mine. I mean, we did the Wannabes together. We did Back in the Day. And now we're doing Gravesend. And, I just love to watch him and when he's doing his thing. And I'm really inspired by a lot of up-and-coming people and other people, too. This guy Bruce up in Rhode Island that's doing good things right now. He's inspired me a lot. I get inspired by a lot of newcomer actors, too, that I see them grinding and, pushing and, auditioning and, doing whatever they could to, get to the next level. And, it makes me feel good when I see that. And I love when they're working. I love when other actors are working. I love when I see my actor friends doing other things. It's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Guys, if you're just joining us, we're with Joseph D'Onofrio, actor. He's been in a ton of movies, shows, over 90 now, and we're hanging out with him. If you have any questions for him, post them on the board. We'll be relaying them over to Joe. So this Saturday coming up is the big comedy show. Now, is this your first one you've ever done?
No.
Yeah. But this is the first I've heard of your comedy stuff. When I started talking to you on Facebook, I didn't know you did any comedy before. So
I did a show Saturday night in Staten Island. It was in the parking lot. My friend Ray Vasquez from AC Jokes, because I did Bally's. I don't know, before the pandemic, I did Bally's. And Ray Vasquez was the promoter. So he's like, he called me like last week, last minute. Joe, I got a spot open. You want to do it? I was like, make me an offer. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So we did the show. It was in a parking lot. But I did Dangerfields a couple of times.
Okay.
I did Broadway Comedy Club a couple of times. And I did Bally's, like I said. I did Staten Island. This is like maybe my 10th time. But when I do it, basically, I produce my own show. And yeah, so it's like my 9th, 10th time. And I got great comics on the show, too. I got Steve Marshall. He's a beast. I got Aaron Berg. Come on, man. I
know.
I got Kevin Moxley, Martin Chaddock, and me. I'm going to do a set. I'm going to do my own comedy.
You're the headliner. You're the headliner.
I'm the headliner, man.
I know.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to listen to you guys. I think it's going to be a great show. Now, is this the first one you actually put together yourself?
No, every single one I did, I put together except the one in AC Jokes and the one that I did in Staten Island. The ones in Dangerfields,
Yep.
I put them together. I have a partner, but my friend Jules helps me out, helps me get some comics when I do them in the city. But
Yep.
the Zoom one, I'm doing 100% myself.
Okay.
But in the city, this guy Jules helps me out.
Okay, so guys, if you're listening, Saturday night, 8 o'clock, we'll talk about that. Would we get a question here? Bruno Capolo, forget about it, he said. That's all he wrote, forget about it. Just a simple, thanks, Bruno. Well, guys, I want to thank a few more sponsors before we get into the second half of the show with Joe. I want to thank Chris Joseph Real Estate. He's at One Realty Partners. Contact him. Look at best dad ever. He's got the cup there. Contact him if you're looking for a home. He's at 315-725-1023. Also want to thank Kerpak Creations. They customize in many items such as T-shirts, hoodies, car details, cell phones. Contact them for a quote today. They're at 315-704-4632. Also want to thank Steve Townsend, Tree and Landscaping. They do landscaping, lawn, mowing, maintenance, hedges, shrubs. They do all kinds of trim and removal. Contact Steve at 315-240-4246. And our last sponsor for tonight is the Ohio Tavern. This place has got amazing tacos, burgers, wings, scalloped seafood Alfredo that looks out of this world. And we actually did a show there. You're definitely going to want to check them out. Give Rebecca a call for their specials. They're at 315-825-5050. So thank you to tonight's sponsors. We really appreciate it.
So
I can't wait. You know what, Bill? I can't wait
What's
till
that?
all these sponsors invite me over. And I need a tree taken out of my backyard, so tell them to come on down. You know what I mean?
You got trees down in Brooklyn? No
Yeah,
way.
come on. We got trees all over the place, man.
Jesus. Welcome
There's
to
trees in Brooklyn. You never heard of the movie A Tree Grows in Brooklyn?
Yeah. Well, I
Come
know.
on.
I know. Wait a minute. We got one question here. Bruno, Joe puts on a great comedy show. I've been to two of them. Dangerfield's in Broadway Comedy Club. There it is, Bruno.
Yeah.
Bruno's been to a couple of them.
Yeah, Bruno's been to. You know, there's a lot of my peeps always come to my shows. I got loyal friends, and they're great people. They always support me.
Yeah.
And I love when they come down. I mean, we sold a lot of tickets already.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, it's going to be it's a good night. You know, usually I like doing it in a club.
Yeah,
But right
yeah.
now with the coronavirus, it's like.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you know what it is, when I do it in the club, I hang out with everybody afterwards, and we chill out.
Right.
We go for a drink, we hang out, we do what we got to do, and we have fun.
That's
I
what
love mingling with people.
That's the question I wanted to ask you, Joe. A lot of times with people when they see extra stuff, a lot of them aren't approachable. I mean, for you to come on our show for being so new, me talking to you on the phone, and it's I got to tell you, man, you're one of those people that you could just kind of hang out with. And I would say, Joe, come up to Utica. We'll take you out to dinner. We'll hang out. We'll show you the town. And you seem like the type of guy who would come up here if you had nothing going on and hang out with us.
100%.
I freaking love it, man. That's what it's all about
Hey,
right
listen,
there.
I'm grateful that you asked me to be on the show. I'm thankful for you to have me here and ask me questions and, get the word out there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
It is what it's all
Yeah.
Right?
So were there any big roles that you tried out for that you couldn't get?
Oh, there was a couple. I tried out for almost everything around, man. I don't like
Did ya?
talking about what I tried out for because then it gets me mad.
Does
Yeah.
it?
I know. We don't want to get
We
you
don't want
mad.
you.
I've seen what you did in a few of these freaking movies.
But I'm lucky now because, most times I'm getting parts. I mean, like the birthday cake, basically, I did a self-tape for the guy, and the guy, they hired me quick because they like my resume and they like my prior work. I mean, sometimes people just call up and they offer me parts, and I like when that happens. But I
Right.
don't mind auditioning. If I have to audition, I audition. If I have to
Right.
do a self-tape, I'll do a self-tape. Whatever they need me to do, I do. It doesn't make a difference to me.
Now, how tough is this business? I mean, a lot of people say, geez, they get in all these movies and stuff, but the ups and downs and everything that go along with it, how tough is it in the acting business?
It could be tough. It could be crazy. I mean, like last night or the night before, I did the show in Staten Island, right? So I went to a place to eat in Staten Island. So I went to this place on the water, and I'm eating or whatever like that. and some guy comes over. He's like, "Oh, aren't you the guy from the Bronx Tale and Goodfellas? Hey, how you doing? Nice to see you.
Right.
All right, cool. Oh, nice to meet you. Da, da, da. It's my friend's birthday. A bunch of younger kids are there. So, he goes back. Next thing you know, I'm eating dessert. I finished the dessert. One of the guys comes over. He's like, "Hey, how you doing? I heard you're the guy from the movies." "Yeah, how you doing?" And he picks up my dessert plate and he licks it.
Oh, come on.
And he licks the plate. And he looks at me and he's like, "Oh, I liked you in the movie." And I was like, "Oh, did you like that?" There was like whipped cream on it. I didn't even want it. He's like, "Yeah, it was good." And like, his whole table's laughing or whatever. And like, he walks away. And in my head, I know they dared him to do it. He's like, "Oh, sometimes people, they want to do like stupid things."
Right.
But to me, I'm like, I just looked at the guy and I laughed. Somebody else might have been like, "Hey, what the hell you doing?"
Right.
Licking my plate.
Right.
What are you being a wise guy?
Right.
But to me, I'm like, you know what? Whatever.
Yeah,
I just kept walking. Sometimes, like, people get crazy sometimes, or like some people get, I don't know what to call it, but people get resentful just because you've been in a movie or whatever. They're like, "Oh, you're the guy from the movie? Get out of here." And I'm like, "Dude, what did I do to you?" I was like, I'm just sitting there having a drink. I'm, just because I was in a movie doesn't mean you have to be mad at me.
Yeah,
it's not my fault I was in a movie. Like, what are you mad at me for? Because I was in a movie, or maybe your girlfriend's over there telling you that she liked me in the movie or something.
Right.
It's crazy sometimes.
Yeah,
but then
I'm
there's
sure.
the other side to it when you meet somebody and they're like so happy to meet you. It's like, "Oh man, I love your work. I'm so happy to meet you. You're such a great person." And I'm like, "Thank you so much." And I always want to hear about what they're doing or what they do with their life, because it's not all about me. It's about everybody. Just because I've been in a couple of movies don't mean nothing. I bleed like everybody else, and I have feelings like everybody else.
Sure.
And I'll tell you, some actors, they can't deal with that. Like another actor, that guy would have licked his plate, they might have beat the guy up.
Sure,
or they might have started a big thing about it.
Absolutely.
Or like they might come over and say they like their work, and they might get full of themselves. To me, I just feel like people like me.
Right.
And I like when they like me.
That's I love hearing that shit. That, to me, that's what it's all about, man. You go out there, you do your work, and you're accommodate with the people. We used to go to baseball games all the time down in Cooperstown, and the players would come in just for the day, and here's all these kids yelling to their favorite players. Some of the players wouldn't even look their way. Not even, I understand if you got to get in the stadium, you got to stretch this and that. Even if you just wave, "Sorry, buddy, I got to get in the stadium, I got to warm up, I'll try to come back." A lot of them will just walk right by you, not even give you the time. I mean, not even a quick look or a wave to acknowledge them. And to me, like you said, we're all people, man. These are kids that watch you and they buy your shirts and your hats and all this stuff. And to me, that used to drive me nuts when I used to bring you and your little kid and you're yelling out these guys' names. They wouldn't even look at you. And it's like, but what you do, we appreciate what you guys do, how you socialize after your comedy shows and you talk with people and stuff. And I respect that.
Yeah, but you got to be careful because, listen, these baseball players are coming in, and you never know. You might have a crazy person, stab them or do something. This social media and YouTube and all this stuff killed all that for people.
Yeah.
Because remember when they didn't have YouTube or Facebook or Instagram? You go to a baseball game, you throw something to the player, he'll sign it and throw it back to you like it was nothing.
Right.
Now, you say like I throw something to him and he just lets it fall. I go on YouTube. "Oh, that baseball player was a piece of garbage.
Right.
He's a racist. He's this, he's that."
Right.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know, it's so hard. Sometimes I say to myself, I wish I was like a police officer instead of an actor, because then I could just sometimes go to the beach without having people either recognize me or come up to me, because sometimes it gets awkward. And you see these actors, they get depressed sometimes and they don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And they need therapy, because everywhere you go, you deal with people. You don't deal with them the right way, you could be done.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a couple other questions. Let's see here. Bruno, Joseph, are we going to see you more in the William DeMeo Gravesend series?
Yes, you are.
Yes, he says. Okay. Did I say,
You're going to see a lot of me.
Let's see. Okay, so that was what we got. So Bruno's watching. God, we got a lot of people watching. This is awesome, man.
Only if Bruno buys tickets to my comedy show. If you don't buy tickets to my comedy show, I'm not gonna have a big part. So buy some tickets right away.
I'm getting my tickets tomorrow, by the way, for the show, and you check them too. You check. Because I see you when you're doing your live. You go, yeah, so you just bought the ticket. Joe, I want to ask you something. What advice you give to younger kids growing up that might want to be actors or in plays and stuff? What kind of advice would you give them?
Become a lawyer.
Fuck the acting.
Go to school. Be a cop. Be a fireman. It's very hard. Acting is so hard. If I was to give some advice to up-and-coming actors, I would tell them to do their own work, write their own scripts, and make their own movies. And, produce their own work. Mm-hmm. That's the best thing to do, because auditioning is so hard if you don't have credits, if you don't have, it's very competitive. Yeah. Very competitive. And I'm lucky that, I've done so much work that gets me in the door to get the next job. Mm-hmm. So, it's very hard. And, in auditioning, it's a very hard process. If you're not good at it, you're not going to be able to get a part.
Yeah, growing up and watching a lot of those 80s sitcoms and stuff, you see these young kids who do great on these sitcoms, and then they disappear. You never see from them again.
And then also you audition, and you do great in the audition. Right. And then, they go another way. They use a girl instead of a guy. They use their cousin. Someone might have the part already. Or, when I go in on an audition, I go in, I do my best, I nail it, and then I leave. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I go to the next one. I can't keep thinking about it. Because you could get depressed, man. It's like, I see actors going on parts, and then they call me up. Oh, Joey, you hear anything about the audition? Oh, Joey, you should call your agent. I heard they're getting the cast together. And I'm like, dude, it's out of my hands. Yeah. I'm powerless over other people. All I could do is go in, do my best, and then that's it.
That's it.
So, what do you have coming up in future roles? Do you have anything coming up?
Like I said, I got the birthday cake coming out with Val Kilmer. Mm-hmm. I got The Wrong Path with C. Thomas Howell. Judy San Roman produced it. Great movie. Artie Pasquale, great up-and-coming cast. I played a gangster in that one, a crazy one. Played a killer in that. That's a good one. Sarah Q, John Gallagher directed that. Mm-hmm. Made in Chinatown's another one. And we got The Gravesend, like I said, and we're doing Almost Made. Almost Made is going to be shot up in Amsterdam. We're supposed to start next week. I just took my coronavirus test, so hopefully, I know I'm good. But they said it might get pushed back because SAG has to let us do it. But I'm supposed to also start this thing called All Mobbed Up. John Gallagher's directing.
Okay. So
I'm playing a drag queen in that one.
Oh, you gotta be shitting me.
Nope, I'm playing a drag queen in that one. It's going to be great. And Sarah Q, I played a dentist. I love John Gallagher. I did The Deli with him. I did Blue Moon. I did The Networker. I did 10 movies with this guy that he either produced or directed. And I just love working with him. And he always gives me something different. Yeah. Because I could play something else besides a gangster.
Right.
I played a Greek once. I played a geek. I played so many different things. And I love when people give me a chance to do it.
Yeah, just to kind of explore and see other things. What do we got here? Oh my God, all these people are commenting here. We got let's see. Thanks, Bruno. Okay, great guys, great show. Now, was there any movies, Joe, that you played in that after you just said, I didn't really give a shit, this movie sucked? Were there any movies like that? There's got to be. I know musicians and stuff, they make an album, they go, I really didn't like that album. Are there any movies that you played in that you were like,
Yes.
Yeah, that's all I need to hear. You don't have to say which ones, but yes.
Nah, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't ask you. I'm not going to ask you.
But most of them, to be honest with you, 98% of the movies I do, I love them and they're great. Maybe 2% out of the movies. So you figure out of 100 movies, maybe, 10 aren't that good.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people were talking to me before the show, and they want me to ask you, does he have a favorite quote from a movie? And if he does, can he say it? What's your
It's got to
favorite?
be how you doing. How you doing, Henry? Come on.
That's it.
Or I want to shoot somebody. Those are the two
Those
lines
are-
that people always ask me. Oh, can you say Henry? Can you say Henry? Henry
Yeah.
got pinched. Henry got pinched. Or they say, I want to shoot somebody. Say it for me, Joe. Say it, Joe. I want to shoot somebody.
I freaking love it. That's awesome.
And I tell them, and you know what? I'm grateful. And you know what's funny? I want to shoot somebody was improv. So, I mean, I'm
Okay.
grateful for that. And then they also like me to say, from Analyze That, I'm working for your mother.
Yeah.
When he had me on the
exactly.
roof.
Yeah.
And that was improv too. I never forget that day, man. Howard Ramis, we were going up the stairs, and I'm like, Howard, when Bob tells me who you're working for, I'm going to say, I'm working for your mother. And he was like, yeah, that's great, say it. He goes, but don't tell Bob. And then I did it, and Bob's like, he takes a swing at me. And if you see it, you see what
Yeah.
I did. And then he's like, I hope you don't mind. I took a swing at you. I was like, yes, backslap me, do whatever you want. I don't care. And believe it or not, that whole scene, most of it was improv, all the lines and everything. And, you know, it's great when you work with those guys. And I'll never forget doing that before the scene. De Niro grabbed me and he starts wrestling with me. And in my head, I'm like, what's this guy doing? And he's like, listen, because I guess he's seen on my face I was like a little weird. And he's like, listen, I just want to get a little crazy because from the last scene to this scene. And I was like, wow. And from that day on, every time I do a scene, I always think about what I'm doing before I get into the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And I use that as my technique. And I did a class, and I told my acting students about that. And I actually did a movie called A Motre with a Paulie Magic Man, the boxer.
Uh-huh.
And I told him that process. And it's funny, I seen him like 2 weeks ago. We're having a sandwich, and he's like, oh, Joey, I'm so thankful that I did that movie with you because you taught me so much. And I was like, no problem, brother, because you got to be into the scene.
Yeah.
Put yourself there.
Right. Now, before a movie or anything else, before you go on set, is there anything that kind of, like a pre-movie ritual? Athletes I talk about before you go into a game, do you listen to anything music-wise? Do you eat anything before? Do you guys got anything as being an actor going into a set that gets you fired up?
Well, it depends what I'm doing. If I'm doing like a TV show or like a movie, I know they're usually going to have food on the set. So usually I just try to like stay quiet and make sure I know all my lines. I try to be very prepared. I want to be prepared for anything. I want to have my script down to a T. I want to have my emotions. Am I going to be scared? Am I going to be sad? Whatever I'm going to do. And I want to have it all written down on the paper. And I have to have it with me in my pocket. And sometimes, believe it or not, I'll have it in my head, memorized. But right before they say action, like they'll say cut, I'll take it out of my pocket.
And
I'll look at it again, and then I'll put it away, even though I have it in my head. And a comedy show, when I do my comedy show, I make sure I always eat a good meal like an hour and a half before. Mm-hmm. Nothing too bulky, but, something that's very healthy.
Yep.
And I drink a lot of water. And I like to listen to some music on my way in the car. Like I'll put some hip hop on, blast, and I try to get into the music.
Yeah.
Because, I love music. Mm-hmm. And I don't get nervous. The last couple of times I wasn't nervous, but the first comedy show I ever did, I'll never forget. I was shaking, man. I was like this. I didn't believe it. I was like shaking like this in Dangerfield. And then and here comes your comedian, Joseph D'Onofrio. And as soon as the light went on and I got that mic, I don't know, it just turned on. It turned on a switch.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how you doing? Joseph D'Onofrio here. And it was like the director said action.
Yeah, right. I got to tell you.
And that's basically the routine.
Watching even your live videos, when you come on and I click on, and it's like you're doing a comedy show even on your live videos, showing people how to click for the tickets and going through the computer and stuff. You're a fucking riot, man. It's hilarious. But now you know what, Joe? You had a great story, but now things are going to get a little difficult for you. You're going to be entering the penalty box session of the show.
Okay.
Oh man, this is never easy. The penalty box, I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and you're going to give me an answer to each of them. See, this
Okay.
is now you got no little paper to be looking at to be, cheating with this time. You're on your look. He's looking around. Don't be looking for no cheat sheet over there, Joe. I see you. You got this. You're a freaking beauty. All right, you ready? First
Yep.
question: favorite meal?
Matzo ball soup.
Yeah. Where do you get that from? Down there.
My mom made the best matzo ball soup in the world,
Oh,
and I make
man.
a great matzo ball soup. I like to go to Second Avenue Deli in the city. Best matzo ball soup around. Oh, and their
Really?
pastrami is so good, and their potato lox. Oh man.
Oh man, Jesus! See, we got to come down.
I
there
love
and do-
soup. I'm a
Are
soup
you a soup
guy.
person? Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love lentil soup, Italian wedding soup. Oh, I love soups. I can
Yeah.
eat soup every day.
Yeah. Man, I do. I like a good soup too. You like New England clam chowder? Manhattan clam chowder.
Oh, I love it. White,
Yeah.
the white, I love it.
white,
Oh,
the
I
New
like when
England.
it comes in a little bread. When they
Yeah.
cut out the bread,
and the bread,
and they
and then
put
you
it in
just-
the bread,
Yeah.
and you eat the bread.
Yeah.
Ah.
That's beautiful. All right. Good answer. I like that. I like that too. Favorite musician?
Favorite musician? Oh, wow. Huh. Probably Cynthia, freestyle artist.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Never heard of her. Is it good?
Never heard of Cynthia?
I never
Dream
did.
Boy. You never heard of Cynthia? Oh, my
No.
God.
Joe,
She's great.
Joe,
She's
I'm an-
unbelievable.
I'm an
You better go
80s
follow her now.
Cynthia, just Cynthia, straight Cynthia.
Cynthia. That's
All right.
it.
All right, I'm gonna have to look her up on YouTube. I don't know. I'm more of an '80s guy.
I love freestyle.
You do
Anything
okay.
from Fever Records. Fever Records is my favorite, man.
Okay.
Noel, TKA, Cynthia, Suave. Oh my God. I love it, man. And great performers. That's what I miss. Sammy Zone.
Yeah.
I miss going to a freestyle show and watching them perform. Like Fascination's really good. But Cynthia is one of the greatest performers. I love seeing her because she interacts with the audience.
Uh-huh.
And I could listen to her music every day.
Okay, Cynthia. Well, now I have a one-word musician that I like, kind of in that same as Sade. When I listen to Sade, I could just
wow.
everything. I could put the headset on and just sit back. Something about her voice just puts me in a
Yeah.
trance. She's got a great
Beautiful
voice.
music.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. So next question: one role that you've never played in a movie that you would like to play. What would that role be? I mean,
A
you've done
nice
a lot.
guy.
Just a nice guy.
A nice
Yeah.
guy, like just a nice guy that starts off like sad and broken and ends
Yeah.
up with the girl at the end of the movie, like an Adam Sandler movie.
Oh,
You know, like
okay, yeah.
that type of guy, like a nice guy. You know, like
nice guy.
something like that. I mean, I would just love to do that, like the romantic lead. I mean, I know I'm not that handsome, but I think I'm a little cute. You know, I would love that. I love David Spade too. I've been
Yeah.
watching a lot of David Spade movies
Yeah.
on Netflix. The Wrong Missy, if you ever watch The Wrong Missy with David
Okay.
Spade, oh, it's great.
Great movie,
It's funny.
huh? All right. I'll have
So
to
a
check
nice
that. That's
guy.
Nice, just a nice guy. Okay.
Yeah, nice
All
guy.
right. We can see that. Hold on a minute. Bruno just wrote, Bill, get Cynthia on your show.
You should. She would do it.
She would do it?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I gotta look this girl up when I get home tonight. Cynthia. I'm just gonna Google her and see what she's all about. Okay, I'll
Oh,
check
she's
her out,
great,
Bruno.
man.
Yeah, all right. And our musician, they usually sing on their show. We usually give them to sing a couple songs, so I could actually
She'll
hear her
sing.
live.
She's got like 3-4 hits, man. She's been singing since the 90s. She's great.
Okay,
She would do it in a second. She would definitely do it.
All right.
Just tell her you're a friend of mine. She'll do it.
I'll
Even
have
if you
to-
don't tell her you're a friend of mine,
That's
she'll
just-
do it.
All right. So, next question: bucket list actor or actress that you would love to work with that you haven't before. Who would that be?
Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, Sylvester, huh?
Or I like Jason Stratton.
Oh,
And Eddie Murphy, too. Eddie Murphy.
yeah. Oh, Eddie Murphy
Those
would be
three.
great. I know.
Eddie Murphy and Jason Stratton are my favorite actors right now. But I just love Sylvester Stallone because I've been following him,
Yeah.
and I love just like his posts and his stories, and just the guy's just amazing. From Rocky to like Rambo,
Yeah.
to like all these movies in between, to comedy and drama. Just love to like sit on like face to face with him and just like do a scene.
Yeah.
I auditioned to play his son in a movie once, but I didn't get the part. But I came
Really?
close.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That would have been
I think
awesome.
it was Daybreak or something. Or I think they gave the part to his real son. So I guess, I guess that's why I lost out on
That's
the
why
part.
you lost on it. We got
Yeah,
before
that's why I say sometimes you go
Yeah.
for a role and somebody else got the part already.
I know. That's true. So you've never met Stallone in person then?
No,
No?
I would love to.
Yeah, that would be cool. Those Rocky movies back in the 70s were great when they came out and you got to watch them in the cinema when he knocked Creed down and the place would go freaking ballistic and that was the best.
No, but I just love his personality. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that his Instagram with his daughters. And,
Yeah.
he's always on Instagram talking to his fans and friends. And he's just a nice guy.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Sometimes, and that's what I just love about him.
Yeah.
And he's a great actor. Look at all the
Oh,
movies
yes.
he directed. I mean,
I know.
come on.
I know. All
Those
right,
Rambos are something else. Those
those
killing
are-
scenes that he
Yeah.
does.
Oh, he's insane.
Unbelievable.
I know. All right, last question for the penalty box. If you could sit down and have dinner with one person, whether they passed on, they're still around, or you never met before, have a nice dinner with them and just shoot the shit and just pick their brain, who would that person be and why?
It would definitely be my dad because my dad passed away when I was like 19. So I really didn't get a chance to really talk to him that much. Mm-hmm. So it'd definitely be my dad. I would definitely love to pick his brain because my dad passed away like right after I did Goodfellas.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was
Right.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
So definitely him. Yeah.
Yeah. I know he'd probably have a lot to say about all the movies and everything you've done, and that would be cool. That's mine too. My dad passed away. I was 21, so he missed a lot of stuff. The grandkids, growing up and everything, and so yeah, I'd say the same thing. If I could have one more dinner and just shoot the shit with them and see what we're doing now, that's pretty awesome. Joe,
definitely, man.
I got a couple people here just replied. Bruno said, Bill, I've got Cynthia, but the real drunk housewives of Australia, Joseph, you're a beast. No,
Thank you.
You're the best. She said, not a beast. She said, you're the best. So thank you.
She must be drunk.
You see, or I'm drunk because I can't read it. I'm looking at the screen. I thought it said beast. I go, man, that's a nice compliment. No, you're the best.
I love
she
the
said.
drunken housewives. They're the best. You better start following them, Bill.
Oh, if that's another one. So Cynthia, the Drunken Housewives of Australia. I got to check both those out, right? We'll have to make sure we do that. Joe, before we go, I just want to thank our sponsors one more time before we end the show. I want to thank Out of the Way Cafe in Utica, Geddes Bakery in Syracuse, Europa Cafe in Amsterdam, New York. Eileen Hoffman, want to thank her. Chris Joseph Real Estate, Kirpak Creations, Steve Townsend Tree and Landscaping in Ohio Tavern. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring the show tonight. Joe, I got to tell you, man, that hour went by so fast. We probably could have talked for another couple hours easy.
I want to thank your sponsors also for the gift certificates they're going to put in my inbox after the show. I appreciate it. I can't wait to come to your place and have dinner. And like I said, I got that tree I need taken out.
You
so
do got the tree out there.
I definitely need that guy.
You do. So, Joe, we got to make it a plan, man. You got to come up to Utica. You got to come up to Utica.
100%.
I'll stay in touch. We'll take you to a couple places. Check out some great food. We'll have to go to Syracuse after to Geddes Bakery to get some cannolis, some half moons. He's got fantastic desserts and stuff there.
Well, how about Amsterdam? I'll be up in Amsterdam soon.
I know. Am I going to be able to pop up and meet you up there? Or are you going to have security all around you?
No.
All right, I'll call you. I'll get in touch with you. You let me know when you're going up there. We'll take a ride up and we'll visit you.
Well, I know there's a cafe or something there's a sponsor up there. I forgot. What is that? The cafe?
It's Europa Cafe. Yep.
Europa Cafe.
Europa Cafe. So we'll have
Tell
to
them
maybe
I'm
get
stopping by.
All right. We'll make sure. I'll be in touch with you. But, Joe, thank you so much for being on the show tonight, man. Saturday
Thank
night,
you.
your comedy show, 8 o'clock. Get your tickets. Only $30. He's got a great lineup. And Joe's headlining that, so you're definitely going to. Oh, John Pappas. Yay with my tickets. There it is. Pappas is getting the tickets. That's awesome. Thanks, John.
Oh, yeah, Pappas.
There you go. And we're getting dessert at your place after we have dinner down at Grabski. So, Joe,
100%.
Joe, thanks again, man. I appreciate it. I'm going to stay in touch with you, and we're going to try to come up and see you in Amsterdam when you guys go up there.
Hey, listen, I would love to just jump in the car, take a ride up to Utica and get dinner one day or whatever.
Okay.
Lunch, anything, man. Once the fall comes and the weather's not as hot, I love taking car rides.
Okay.
Jump in the car, come up, hang out, whatever you want to do.
We'll do that, man. We'll make plans with that. So, guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. If you didn't catch the live feed, make sure you share this on your Facebook page. Spread the word on Joseph D'Onofrio and his acting career and his comedy shows coming up. This was a great interview. Make sure you hit that share button and get the word out. Guys, next Monday night, we got former Major League Baseball player and former Rome native Archie Sinfracco joining us. Had a great career with the Expos and the San Diego Padres. We're going to talk to him, so we'll see you guys next Monday night from 7 to 8. Ryan, another great show. Todd and Z here at the D Network, thank you guys so much. Joe, you be safe, buddy, and I'll keep in touch with you, buddy. Good luck Saturday. I'm getting my tickets tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace out, brother. Take care.